all this that's happening, there's no shoots. So
Yeah.
what have you been working on, and what should other actors be working on at this moment in time?
Find something you're not great at and become great at it. For the most part, everybody's got time on their hands right now. I just spoke with my manager today, and she was telling me that she's got a bunch of people that are actually they're finding material of characters they think they could play, characters they want to play, and they're filming like they're writing stuff and filming self-tapes as that character. And then they're sending it to, their manager or their coach and saying, what do you think about this? Do you have any notes or anything like that? And I think that's a great idea. Always putting yourself, find something to be doing. I think there's a silver lining in all this this chaos that we're in right now, is that everybody at the end of this should come out with more knowledge or a new skill of some sort, or, something. You got to come out of this with something. Whether that's just read a book. Something to learn. Tim McGraw gave me a guitar when we finished Blindside, and this is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. He gave me a guitar, and he said, when we finished, he said, "Hey, if you ever learn how to play that, you'll come on stage, you play it with me." And I never learned how to play it. So, like, what an idiot, right? So literally, while we're here, I got buddies here that that I'm with, and they play guitar, and so I was like, "Hey, teach me how to play this thing." So I have this guitar that I've never even picked up, really picked up. And I haven't put it down since in the last week and a half.
Nice.
Then we need to email Tim McGraw and film you.
Literally, I'm gonna get him on. Literally, I'm gonna take a picture of it, tweet at him, and be like, "Hey, remember when you told me this? Well,
so
I'm
the
getting
next
ready."
time we have concerts again, you gotta be there.
So I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna perform on stage with him at some point.
There we go. So we'll send him this clip too, and be like, "Look,
yeah,
this is what
absolutely.
he's doing." But you talked about auditions, and you're helping people with your class, course, workshop. Tell us about that.
So I have the coach that found me, his name's Chamber Stevens, and he runs, he calls them boot camps, and he all the time calls me and says, "Hey, I got a kid that he's very much like you. He kind of matches your energy. You think you could come help him out?" And so I'll come work with him because I can relate to a lot of these kids. I've worked with people that are, in their 30s and 40s. I've worked with kids that are my age. I've worked with kids that are like 5, 6, 7 years old. I've worked with everyone. And I really enjoy doing that because you kind of get to see the next generation of people. And you get a lot of perspective on different people. So that's one thing I do. I also have a buddy of mine. He was actually played the bigger kid in the movie Super 8 that Spielberg directed, the one about the train crash. So me and him are actually really good buddies. And we were working, before all this happened, we were working on creating our own little workshop together. Having like maybe every once a month or, twice a month, something like that. Having a couple kids, because there's a lot of acting coaches out there that help you, with, scripts and stuff like that. But there's not really anybody out there teaching people how to get ready for auditions and, how to mentally prepare for that. Because that's something you just kind of got to learn, because nobody really tells you anything. You just go in the room and you figure it out as you go. So we kind of want to take that, because he was a kid actor as well. So we want to take all the knowledge and stuff that we've learned over the years, and we want to put it so we can have these kids come in and say, "Look, this is what you got to expect. This is what you need to be doing," and tell the parents, "Look, this is what you can expect, and this is how it goes, and this is what if they say this is what it means," and stuff like that. So that's something we're also working on. We're in the early developments of that. Really excited about it, but we'll see how it goes. When all this is over, at some point, we'd like to, get back to that. 'Cause that's what.
Would you be open to doing this stuff online so that all the kids are
Yeah.
at school
Absolutely.
right now?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. That's kind of I wish we would have kind of thrown that idea in sooner, but like all this happened within days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were like, we'll just pick it up, regularly. And, if I'd have known it was going to be however long, we would have prepared better for being online. But we know, that's what we know now.
The title of our show is called A Wake Up Call. Can you remember a time, moment where you kind of had your wake up call? You're like, I got to get my stuff together. I got to, I got to be focused, determined. Can you remember a time when you kind of had your wake up call?
I never had that until I moved out here and as a grown adult. Because as a kid, like I said, as a kid, I did enjoy doing it and I did like doing it. But a lot of the times I did look at it as a chore. I didn't like doing the audition, and I still really don't like auditioning. I just don't like doing it. That's just how I am, but I'll do it because it's necessary. But I got out here, and like for the first year and a half, the way I did it as a kid is I would just go to school, I'd live my life, and then every once in a while I'd get a call from my manager, and it'd be, hey, you have an audition, or hey, we have a thing, or hey, this, or hey, that. Other than that, didn't talk to him. I didn't do that. So that's how I grew up in this business doing it. So for the first year and a half, that's what I did. That's how I lived. It was like, well, my manager didn't call me today, so I guess nothing happened. And then I looked up, and a year and a half went by, and I was like, nothing happened in a year and a half. What are we doing? So I had that wake up call of, dude, it's on you.
Yeah.
You're gonna, if you, that might have worked in the past as a kid, but nobody's gonna knock on your door with a list of here's all the stuff you want. That doesn't, it doesn't work like that. So I had that wake up call of, dude, you got to get up if you want to get an audition or if you want to get a meeting for this show or for this movie, you're gonna have to pick up the phone and piss off somebody or annoy somebody enough till they actually pick up the phone, or they just tell you to leave. Which I've had both. I've had so I'm not afraid to. I literally at one point printed out with a director I'd worked with in the past. I printed out a headshot and resume, and I went and sat outside his office for 8 hours, and literally sat there and waited. I was like, I'll sit here all day until you show up. I was like, because I kept asking my team. I was like, I need 5 minutes with him. Oh, okay. Well, we're trying. We'll see what we can do. We'll pick up the phone, and then nothing ever happened. I said, you know what? Never mind. I got it. Don't worry. I'll do it. So I was like, I'll whatever it takes.
This show is brought to you by the Beating the Odds Foundation.
If you want to learn more about the Beating the Odds Foundation, please visit their website right here, beatingtheodds.org.